My 28M, girlfriend 26F, deleted 5 years of my creative work. I returned the favor with her business. I never thought I'd be writing this, but here we are. Let me give you the full picture first. I'm Alex, 28, software developer. Been with my girlfriend Vanessa for about 2 years. She runs a small Etsy shop making custom jewelry and greeting cards, plus works part-time at a coffee shop. I work full-time as a back-end developer, and in my spare time, I've been creating custom content for video games for the past 5 years. This isn't just playing games like Vanessa always calls it. I create custom graphics, write code, develop entire storylines for various games. I've got a small but dedicated following, about 3,000 downloads across different platforms. I'm currently working on a complete overhaul for a popular game. Probably put in 2,000 plus hours over 5 years. I've even been approached by small game companies asking if I want to do freelance work, but Vanessa has never seen it that way. To her, it's just Alex playing games instead of helping with real work. She's always making comments like, maybe focus on something that actually matters, or, you're almost 30, don't you think it's time to grow up? Looking back, I think Vanessa had always been insecure about money. I made good money as a developer while she barely scraped by with her part-time jobs and inconsistent Etsy sales. Maybe putting down my creative work was her way of feeling like her financial struggles meant something more. Here's where it gets messy. Last Tuesday, we had our biggest fight yet. Vanessa had a rush order for custom wedding invitations, and her laptop was acting up. She asked me to help format the designs and upload them to her printer. I told her I was in the middle of fixing a crucial piece of code that had to be finished that night for my team. She exploded, started yelling about how I never prioritize her business and how my gaming hobby isn't contributing anything to our relationship. She said I was being selfish and immature. I tried explaining that this was important to me and my team was counting on me, but she cut me off. It's not a real job, Alex. It's not bringing in money. Stop pretending your little computer games matter as much as actual work. The way she said little computer games, like I was some kid playing with toys, stung more than I wanted to admit. I was pissed but tried to stay calm. I told her we could discuss this after I finished my work, but she stormed off to her room and slammed the door so hard the pictures on the wall shook. I finished the code around 11 p.m., submitted it to the team, then went to help with her invitations. But when I knocked on her door, she just shouted too late, already figured it out myself. The next morning, she was gone early for her coffee shop shift. I didn't think much of it until I sat down at my computer that evening to continue working on my project. Everything was gone. My entire work directory, 5 years of creative output, all gone, including the major overhaul that was nearly complete and 3 collaborative projects with deadlines. My teammates were counting on me. Some of them had built their own work around mine. The recycle bin was empty. My backup drive had been unplugged and hidden somewhere in the apartment. I found a note taped to my monitor. Maybe now you'll focus on what actually matters. Time to grow up. V. I immediately started trying to recover the data. I ran every recovery program I could find, but she had used a professional deletion tool, the kind that overwrites data multiple times to make it completely unrecoverable. When Vanessa got home around 9 p.m., I was still sitting at my computer in shock. I confronted her immediately. "Did you delete my files?" She didn't even look sorry, actually crossed her arms and lifted her chin defiantly. "Good," she said. "Now maybe you'll understand what it feels like when someone doesn't support your work." I was shaking with anger. I told her she had just destroyed years of my creative output, that this was my passion project and she had no right. She actually laughed, a bitter, cruel sound that I'll never forget. "Creative output? Oh please, Alex, it's a game. You're not some artist. You're a grown man playing with virtual toys while I'm trying to build something real." That's when something snapped in me. Not screaming anger, but cold, calculated fury. Virtual toys, she'd called them. As if the hundreds of people who enjoyed my work didn't matter. As if the skills I developed didn't matter. As if I didn't matter. I knew Vanessa kept all her Etsy files on her laptop. She was paranoid about subscription services and had always refused to pay for online backup. No backups, just like me. That night while she slept, I accessed her laptop. She used the same password for everything, our anniversary date. I found her business folder and stared at it for a long time, asking myself if I really wanted to do this, if I really wanted to cross this line. The answer came quicker than I expected. She'd already crossed it. I was just catching up. Then I did exactly what she did to me. Selected all of it and deleted it permanently, using the same professional deletion tool she'd used on my files. Her custom jewelry designs, her greeting card templates, her customer database, her supplier information, her tax records, everything that represented her creative work and business efforts. Gone. Then I left a note on her laptop. Maybe now you'll understand what it feels like when someone doesn't respect your work. I'm not proud of this, but I'm not sorry either. She disrespected something that meant everything to me and destroyed it out of spite. She got exactly what she gave. Update 1. World War III has officially begun, and the fallout is more insane than I expected. Vanessa discovered the deleted files yesterday morning when she tried to work on those wedding invitations. I was already at work when my phone started blowing up. First came the texts. "What the hell did you do to my laptop? All my files are gone. Alex, answer your phone right now. You psychotic asshole." Then the calls. 12 missed calls in the span of an hour. I let them go to voicemail while I was in meetings. When I finally listened to them during lunch, the progression was wild, starting with sobbing confusion, escalating to screaming rage, then back to desperate pleading. "Alex, please tell me this is some kind of joke. The wedding invitation order is due today. The client is already threatening to leave negative reviews and demand a refund. Please, I'm begging you, tell me how to fix this." By the fourth voicemail, she was sobbing so hard I could barely understand her words. I went home during my lunch break. Vanessa was sitting on our couch crying, surrounded by sketches and printouts, frantically trying to recreate her digital designs by hand. She looked up when I walked in, and her face was red and puffy from crying. "How could you do this to me?" she sobbed. "This is my income, Alex. You've ruined everything I've worked for." "Now you know how I felt," I told her calmly. "It's not the same thing. This is my business. This is real money. People are depending on me, and my work was real to me. People were depending on me too. My teammates were counting on me to deliver." She started crying harder. "But that's just a hobby. This is my livelihood. My hobby that I've spent 5 years building. My hobby that's led to job offers. Just because you don't understand it doesn't make it worthless." She started screaming again about how I was supposed to be the bigger person, how I was supposed to support her even when we fought, how a real man would never sabotage his girlfriend's business over a stupid fight. "Support works both ways," I reminded her. "You destroyed my work first. You don't get to play victim now." That's when she called reinforcements. Within an hour, her sister Clara and best friend Jordana showed up like some kind of intervention squad. They had clearly gotten Vanessa's version of events because they immediately started attacking me the moment they walked through the door. Clara got in my face first. "What kind of man destroys a woman's livelihood over a video game? Are you seriously that insecure?" Jordana was more direct. "You're a petty, abusive piece of shit. Vanessa should call the cops and press charges. This is financial abuse." I stayed calm and tried to explain exactly what happened. How Vanessa had deleted my work first, how she'd called my passion worthless, how she'd shown zero remorse and actually laughed about destroying years of my creative work. That's completely different," Clara stammered, looking flustered. "Her business actually matters," Jordana finished. "It actually matters. She has real clients and real money," Clara added, getting her footing back. "Real deadlines, while you just make fake stuff for fake worlds." "Vanessa creates real art," Jordana interrupted. "That real people actually buy." The two of them kept going like this for the next hour, finishing each other's sentences and building off each other's anger. They kept repeating the same points because they were too emotional to think clearly. I pointed out that I have a full-time career and contribute 70% of our household expenses. I pointed out that her Etsy shop nets maybe $200 a month profit after expenses. I pointed out that my childish games had led to actual freelance job offers from real companies. None of it mattered. In their minds, anything involving video games is automatically less valid than anything involving real art or real business. Finally, I'd had enough. If you all think my interests are so worthless and you think I'm such a terrible person, then Vanessa should probably find someone who shares your values. Vanessa started crying harder. I don't want to break up. I just want you to understand that what you did was worse. I want you to apologize and help me fix this. How was it worse? Because I'm trying to build something real, you're just playing around. That was the moment I realized this relationship was truly over, not because of the deleted files, but because she fundamentally didn't respect me as a person. She saw my interests as lesser, my passions as childish, my creativity as worthless, and her friends and family reinforced that belief. I told her I'd be staying at my buddy Mike's place for a few days while we figured things out. As I was packing a bag, Vanessa kept following me around the apartment, begging me to help her recover the files, offering to try to restore my deleted work if I'd fix her laptop first. But the damage was already done to both our data and our relationship. I've been at Mike's for 2 days now. Vanessa has been texting nonstop, alternating between apologies and accusations. Her family and friends are posting passive-aggressive stuff on social media about supportive partners and real maturity. The weird part is, I feel relieved. Like I've been holding my breath for 2 years and can finally exhale. I didn't realize how much I'd been minimizing my own interests to avoid her disapproval. How much I'd been shrinking myself to fit her narrow definition of what an adult man should care about. My creative friends have been incredibly supportive. They've shared backup files they had of our collaborative projects. 2 of them offered to help me rebuild my lost work. Meanwhile, Vanessa lost 3 clients this week and got 2 negative reviews on her Etsy page. Part of me feels bad about that, but she made her choice when she decided my work was disposable. I think I know how this is going to end, but I'm curious to see how far she'll take the victim narrative. Edit. For those asking, the wedding invitation client did find another designer and Vanessa had to refund the deposit plus pay a cancellation fee. That hit her savings pretty hard. Update 2. The saga continues and it's getting more insane by the hour. The manipulation attempts have reached new levels of desperation. Yesterday afternoon, Vanessa showed up at my office building. Security called me down because she was crying in the lobby, demanding to see me. My coworkers were definitely staring as I walked her outside to the parking lot. She looked awful. Dark circles under her eyes, hair unwashed, still wearing the same wrinkled clothes from 2 days ago. She immediately grabbed my arm and started begging. Please come home, Alex. I'm sorry, okay? I'm really, really sorry I deleted your files. I was angry and I made a huge mistake. But we can fix this. We can fix everything if you just come home. I told her we needed to have a real conversation about respect and boundaries, not just apologies. She nodded eagerly. Yes, let's talk. I'll listen, I promise. I really will this time. We went to a cafe nearby. For about 10 minutes, it felt like we might actually work through this. She admitted she'd been dismissive of my hobbies. She said she didn't understand the technical side and maybe she'd been unfair calling it just playing games. But then she pivoted and I could see her real agenda. I've been thinking and maybe we could compromise. What if you limited your creative work to weekends only? That way you could help me grow the Etsy business during weeknights. We could be a real team building something together. I stared at her. Vanessa, you just deleted years of my work. And your solution is that I should do less of what I love so I can help you more with what you love. It's not like that. I'm trying to find a middle ground here. The middle ground isn't me giving up my passion so you don't have to respect it. She got frustrated. Why can't you see that what I'm building has more potential? Your game stuff is cute, but let's be realistic. It's not going anywhere. My business could actually support us someday if you just help me focus on it. Even in her apology, she couldn't help but dismiss my work as cute and not going anywhere. I told her that some of my creative contacts had led to actual freelance opportunities, that I'd been offered contract work by game companies, that the skills I'd developed were directly applicable to my day job and had contributed to my recent promotion. She was quiet for a long moment. I assumed it was just for fun, because you never asked. In 2 years, you never once asked me about my dreams or ambitions related to my creative work. You just decided it was worthless and tried to redirect my energy toward your dreams instead. The conversation went downhill from there. She started crying again, saying I was abandoning her over stupid pride. She accused me of wanting her to fail. She said if I really loved her, I'd help her rebuild her business instead of holding grudges over accidents. Accidents, I said. You deliberately deleted my files and left me a note saying I needed to grow up. That wasn't an accident. I was angry. People do stupid things when they're angry. And now you're experiencing the consequences of those stupid things, just like I had to experience the consequences of your anger. She started getting louder, attracting stares from other customers. Fine. If your computer games matter more than our relationship, then we're done. Is that what you want, to throw away 2 years over nothing? They don't matter more, I said quietly, but they matter equally, and you've never been able to accept that. Even now, you're calling them nothing. She stormed out, but not before shouting loud enough for the whole coffee shop to hear. You're throwing away the best relationship you'll ever have for fantasy bullshit. Don't come crawling back when you realize what you lost. But the real kicker came this morning. I woke up to find that Vanessa had posted a massive Facebook rant about our situation. She painted herself as the innocent victim of an abusive gamer boyfriend who destroyed her small business in retaliation for trying to help him mature and grow as a person. She didn't mention deleting my files first. She didn't mention calling my work worthless. She didn't mention laughing when I was upset. She made it sound like I randomly decided to sabotage her business because she dared to suggest I spend less time gaming. Her post got dozens of supportive comments within hours, friends and family offering to help her rebuild after this abuse. Several people suggesting she should pursue legal action against me, others calling me a typical toxic gamer, and saying she was better off without that kind of negativity. A few of our mutual friends who know both sides reached out to me privately. They're not buying Vanessa's version completely, but they're staying neutral publicly to avoid the social media drama. We know there's more to this story, my friend Sarah texted me, but you know how Facebook is. People see a crying woman talking about abuse and they don't ask questions. The social media circus is surreal. I'm being painted as an abusive monster for doing exactly what she did to me first. The double standard is staggering but not surprising. Society expects men to be the bigger person, even when they're the ones being disrespected and hurt first. But you know what? I'm done caring about her narrative. Let her tell everyone I'm the villain. Let her friends rally around her victim story. The people who matter know the truth, and the ones who don't matter can believe whatever makes them feel superior. I'm planning to move back to our apartment once Vanessa gets her stuff out. Since the lease is in my name and I pay most of the rent anyway, it makes sense for me to stay. I also reached out to one of those indie development companies that contacted me months ago. Time to see if this worthless hobby can actually become something more. Vanessa texted me this morning. I hope destroying my life was worth it. I hope you're happy now. You've ruined everything good we had together. I didn't respond, but I thought, I didn't destroy anything. I just gave you exactly what you gave me. Edit. Several people have asked if I save screenshots of her original note and her admitting to deleting my files. Yes, I have evidence of everything, including text messages where she explicitly says she deleted my work first. Her social media narrative is easily disprovable. The indie studio I contacted wants to set up a call next week. Apparently my work caught their attention last year and they've been following my projects. Sometimes the universe has a sense of humor. Final update, it's over. Completely, officially, finally over. And honestly, I've never felt better about a decision in my life. Vanessa moved out yesterday. The apartment feels weird without her stuff everywhere, but also peaceful. Like I can breathe properly for the first time in months. I can work on my projects without judgment. I can just exist without constantly defending my interests. But then something happened that I didn't expect. Apparently, Vanessa wasn't done. At all. Yesterday afternoon, I got a call from that indie development studio I'd mentioned wanting to contact. Except they were calling me. "Hi Alex, this is Sarah from Moonlight Games. We've been following your work for a while and we're excited to potentially work with you. But we got a very strange call this morning from someone claiming to be your girlfriend." My stomach dropped. "What kind of call?" "She said you were mentally unstable and had destroyed her business in a jealous rage. She warned us not to hire you because you can't handle professional relationships and have serious anger management issues." I was speechless. Vanessa had actually tried to sabotage my career opportunities. "The thing is," Sarah continued, "it was so bizarre and unprofessional that it made us want to reach out to you directly. Anyone vindictive enough to call someone's potential employers sounds like they're probably the real problem in the relationship." I explained the whole situation, how Vanessa had deleted my creative portfolio first, how she'd been dismissive of my work for months, how I'd retaliated. Sarah listened quietly. "Look, we've all been in toxic relationships," she said finally. "What matters to us is your portfolio and your reputation in the community. Everyone we've talked to says you're reliable, talented, and easy to work with. So, are you interested in freelancing with us?" I almost laughed. Vanessa's attempt to destroy my career had actually fast-tracked my opportunity. The rest of the call went incredible. They've been tracking my work for over a year and were impressed by the scope and quality of my projects. They offered me a part-time contract to help develop quest content and world building for their upcoming RPG. It's actual money, not huge, but enough to prove that my worthless hobby has real market value. Better yet, they connected me with other developers in their network. I have 3 more calls scheduled this week with different companies looking for freelance creators. Apparently, experienced content creators with solid programming backgrounds are in high demand right now. I've also been rebuilding my lost work with help from the creative community. It's been amazing to see how many people offered to share files, resources, and even collaborative backups I didn't know existed. My major project might actually come back stronger than before, with better organization and more community input. The social media drama has mostly died down. A few mutual friends privately reached out to get my side of the story. When they learned Vanessa had deleted my work first, most of them changed their tune pretty quickly. Vanessa's been posting increasingly bitter updates about fake friends and people who don't support women's businesses. Yesterday, she posted a long rant about how society teaches men that their hobbies matter more than women's careers. The irony is completely lost on her. I unfollowed her on everything and blocked her number. I'm done with the victim Olympics and the revisionist history. Let her create whatever narrative helps her sleep at night. Clara sent me one final nasty message calling me a pathetic manchild who destroyed a good woman's life over toys. I blocked her too. The irony is that Vanessa's actions might have been the best thing that could have happened to my creative career. Losing all my files forced me to organize better, reach out to the community, and pursue actual professional opportunities instead of just creating as a hobby. Thank you all for the support throughout this mess. This community helped me see that I wasn't crazy for valuing my work and expecting basic respect. Y'all are the best.